Alright, we are on our way to a bike shop called JNS Accessories. Some of you that have perhaps already been into bikes, maybe looking at protective gear and stuff like that, or maybe there's one near you, you'll know what JNS is all about. They do have a pretty good selection of protective gear, you know, helmets, jackets, trousers, gloves, accessories. They probably do things like quad locks and stuff like that there, and all sorts of other bits and bobs. I've never actually bought anything from there before, but I have been to this one in Wellingborough area, or Findon area. I've been there a couple of times. As I say, they've got quite a decent selection of stuff, to be honest with you. I mean, I've got like no plans at all, and I just thought, well, that's somewhere that we could go to. The roads are really bad with potholes, like filled with potholes, so obviously that's never good. After this, I believe some of the country-ish sort of roads they're a little bit nicer to be on, at least nicer than what we're currently just been traveling on now. Me, man, good job I only clipped that little log bit a little bit. Jesus Christ, I reckon on a BMX I'd have been fucking gone. The amount of times I've compared an actual bike to a BMX is rather silly. But yeah, hopefully, as I say, it's just an idea, somewhere to go to. It's just a plan, a little motive. I don't really think there's going to be any sort of function at this place at all. I mean, there might be some sort of bikes parked up perhaps. Yeah, the plan is to just turn up a JNS, get parked up, hopefully survive the gravel. I don't understand that. It's all gravel. In my mind, I'm like, I just don't really think that makes sense. Having a gravel entrance into somewhere where a load of bikes are turning up, bearing in mind, you know, car you're pretty sound, on a bike you're still a little bit prone, especially as a new rider, I guess. That's probably why I'm complaining so much, but as a rider, just someone on a bike, you're a little bit more inclined to stacking it on gravel rather than completely flat, normal concrete tarmac or even grass, you know. That's my opinion. But the fact that this is a bike shop that, as far as I'm aware, it's been there for a while, I just don't see why no one's either made it into tarmac or why you would move to somewhere that is just got a complete gravel, horrific entrance. As I say, as a new rider, that's probably why I'm more inclined to complain, because I've not got the experience with it. I'm a little bit of a shitbag in terms of making sure I don't drop this fucking thing, or trying my utmost best to not drop it. It's not even like the shop is in like a really good area. I suppose it depends on your perception of things, really. Is it a good area where the shop is placed because it's filled with twisties in and out like the whole way there pretty much, minus this bit? I suppose it depends where you come from. In which case, if you look at it like that, or there's nice roads, people might want to ride these roads and then go to the shop in the process, then cool, smart thinking. But if you're not thinking like that, it's actually pretty crap, because it is somewhat in the middle of nowhere in just a load of like bendy roads and trees, and you'll see. But either way, hopefully the ride there is okay. Been up and down here a few times recently, actually. I mean, I do remember the houses have always been sick. I mean, look at some of this stuff, man. I don't know how much this sort of thing costs. The ones on my left at the moment, I'm now looking at the right, but the ones on my left, they are nice enough, but they're not like the big ones, essentially, not all the way down. Whereas everything you see on the right, typically, like there as well, all the way down that bit of drive, there's so many massive houses around here. It's a joke, because I live in like live in a bit of like a dump area, in terms of like, it's either pretty council, fully council, or there's council just before and just after where I live. All I've got to do is walk 2 minutes to 5 minutes, and I'm looking at dusty houses. Like, I mean, they are big. They're like 3-4 bed at least, like nice big drive, got a garage. You know, it's somewhat funny. I just had a comment on my most recent upload at the time of filming this video. I think he meant to say, how do you manage to yap so much? And I think he meant that in like a complimentary way, because let's be real, especially if you're riding for hours at a time, and then I'm putting videos up that are essentially anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, it seems like I am just constantly yapping and I'm just able to speak for that long. Now don't get me wrong, these videos are almost cut up into segments essentially, and then compiled into one video that seems worthwhile me uploading to YouTube, essentially for an entertainment purpose, hopefully for you guys. Otherwise it's kind of weird that you're watching this if you really don't like the videos. But I don't know, people like to find things to hate on. See what I mean, man? I don't like the swinging. What I was getting at was that I tend to have either a bunch of mentally noted topics to waffle on about. It could be, for example, now I'm waffling on about someone commenting on my video about me waffling for a while. It could be any experience I had on the bike. It could be life, you know, or probably a video or two back I was saying about my financial circumstances, and people think, oh yeah, you do TikTok for a living, essentially you must be making loads of money, and it's just not always as it seems. Whatever. Apologies, as much as I'm only tootling, obviously I don't know these roads, and I don't really have much trust in this bike. I mean, maybe I should. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing as a rider, you know. Like I'd love to be able to give these cool content where, like, here we swing it around a little bit, tip the bike over and stuff like that. I mean, even then, these roads, I don't even know if it's going to be picked up in the action cam, because my settings seem to make everything that seems so almost like smooth and unreal. By unreal, I mean it just doesn't look like it's actually how things are IRL almost. I'd rather just like enjoy this, put out some content that's evidently seeming like I'm a new rider, because I feel like, in my opinion, I've had a lot of people in such a short span of time, and a lot of people to me is like anywhere from 20 people to say 50 people at most, but as I say, it's a lot to me, especially as a small content creator at the moment. I've had a lot of people reach out and say they're looking to get a bike. Hold up, wait for this, wait till we get past this person because I don't trust them. Thanks for not hitting me, mate, although you're not looking where you're going. Yeah, I had a lot of people reach out to me saying they're looking to either do their CBT or do their full bike license, or get a new bike, or get a 125 bike, or get this bike, whatever. And they're asking for my take on things and stuff like that, or they're asking for like tips on their CBT, and obviously my go-to is just training. Just listen and just do as they say and you should be sound. That's kind of like my go-to advice, you know. The only way you can fail a CBT, which is just training, just a reminder, is if you're dangerous. You know, if I was like just sat on this wrong side of the road all the time, or crashing into stuff and pulling out into junction, yeah, I'm probably going to get told to go home and potentially either pay again or come back another day. But that's, anyways, we're not on about waffling on about CBTs, we're waffling on about people reaching out to me as such. So that's kind of my original point for this most recent little waffle. My goodness, I feel like there's a lot of newer riders or people that want to start riding that see my content, and maybe they like watching it because I could be remotely entertaining, remotely relatable. I need to do my jacket a little bit more. Whatever the reason is, I just feel like I must offer something, bearing in mind I'm not a cool rider. Like, I might look cool, but in terms of actually riding the bike, like skill-wise, it's not cool. It's pretty crap, really. I'd say I'm just a safe rider, but even then, being inexperienced in itself isn't really that safe, you know. You're only as safe as your bit of skill allows you to be. Again, I mentioned this in one of my most recent videos, but head check and getting out in good time, away from the door as much as you can. But I'm also trying to practice not just sitting on the complete opposite side of the road, you know. Right then, if they had a door swinging out, I'll probably be alright. I'm not going to get right back in because I can see there's vehicles ahead. Maybe give it another head check just in case I do have to come out into the road. But like this, I should be sound if a door was to swing out. Sure, I might have to quickly weave over a little bit, but for the most part, if there's traffic coming onto me, in my mind, I'm thinking stay right here. It should be good. But even if we do have to stay out on this opposite side of the road, now we can come back in our positioning where we should be, because there's no vehicles that are like sticking right out or parked right up. Here's going to be a bit different. Come out, seems all clear. Probably a bit too risky to stay right by the vehicles because you probably will get hit by a door. But again, like I mentioned, you probably want to prioritize getting hit by a door and potentially falling off that way around rather than getting hit by a car. Now, I'm no scientist or expert on getting plowed down by cars, but I'd like to assume the car's going to hurt a lot more than just getting hit by a door and falling off that way around. So I would choose getting hit by a door than a car. And I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, oh, she nodded. That's funny. Well, I think that was a she. If you ever see this video, I'm really sorry. I got a little bit of a glimpse of you. I was too busy thinking like, I flap about riding down these roads on a motorbike. These nutters are out here riding on a mountain bike. And now, even saying that aloud, the amount of times I've just flown down country roads with no brakes, no protective gear, helmet clipped on my back instead of on my head, on a BMX. And again, I'm relating a BMX to a bike, my goodness. And I just didn't think anything of it. There's a road that goes down to a town called Elsbarton that I used to go down, right? When I used to go to a little skate park there back in the day sometime. I'm not even joking, I think definitely in the 40 bit, but we would just fly past just the traffic and then still be pedaling on our bikes. And again, no protective gear, no brakes, laughing away. got your little BlackBerry Curve in your pocket, a little 9320 or something like that, or 8700, whatever it was, 8520. Dubstep music playing in your earphone. Life was good. No thoughts about coming off and what the pain would be like at all. Fast forward a bunch of years, I'm on a little bike which is arguably is safer than riding on a BMX. Basically full leather, two-piece, leather jacket, trousers, boots, little slider pads, protective pad fits inside the kit, the gear, helmet, and I'm shitting it more. The math ain't mathing. Even when I was learning to ride bikes and that for a couple of days on a 650, I had a helmet, a dusty jacket, just like a Kevlar thing, my boots and gloves. Nothing on my jeans. All I had underneath on the jacket was just a t-shirt, and I was shitting it way less on that than I am in full gear on a 125. And it's not even anything to do with crashing or some shit. Obviously I was the same before, so I don't know when that's gonna phase out, being so fucking scared of everything and anything on the bike. Sure, you're gonna be like precautious, mindful, observant, concerned at some scenarios. Yeah, I get that, but almost like praying it all the while, it just getting a bit tedious. It almost takes the fun out of it. It's moments where I'm like, oh, I just feel like a shitbag on this bike, where I'm like, is riding bikes really for me? But then, as I mentioned at length before, I don't really go out to like have fun on this particular bike. This bike was never about me owning it and riding it as much as I've been riding it at all, if I'm honest with you guys. When I go out, I'm like, oh, okay, well, did I progress? Was the ride itself better? Did I try new roads? Did I manage to get the bike tipped a little bit more? How was my braking? How aware was I of things? The list goes on, you know. Again, it's all very boring, nuanced stuff. But those things are what makes it seem a bit more fun for me right now when I'm on a little slow dinger, because I'm progressing. I guess the fact that I've essentially been having to ride this 125 for so long, well, long in my opinion, you know, I was hoping it'd be gone within a few weeks of purchasing it. Fast forward that few weeks, the bike's hit the floor and crashed and had to be rebuilt, and the list goes on. But it's almost a blessing in disguise, because when I do get on something, even if it's only a 300-400 that I choose instead of an R6 or an R7 or whatever bike tickles my fancy at that point in time, and I'm going to buy another one once this is gone, the fact I've had to have this bike for a while longer and ride it is almost a blessing in disguise, because I'm going to be so much more grateful, you'd like to hope, for having this slightly bigger bike, or bigger bike, because I've, as I say, have been having to ride this for a little bit longer. And yeah, I mean, as I've already mentioned in another video, I should have really just had my full license by now. Now, in response to that guy saying, oh, how do I manage to yap for so long, that was just a bit of a freestyle off the dome. That was just going into like one thing and then another. What the hell? I don't know where I am. I've never been up here in my life, I don't think. Nice enough area, I guess. That I was really in my head trying to remember the whole counter steer in order to get around those drains. I'm trying to do that sort of thing as a bit of practice when possible, because again, a little bit nuance and riveting, I'm sure, because it's not wheelies and stoppies and fast speeds and twisty roads, but getting the hang of being able to avoid things, like if a car pulls out, if an animal runs out, if there's something in the road that I've only just seen at a later point in time, maybe I wasn't looking far ahead enough or something like that, whatever, I should be that much better at being able to avoid these things. So again, if I can just keep applying these little bits of knowledge and little gems of, like, I don't know, just learning stuff, if I can essentially accrue all these skills and capabilities over time, I should be a much more confident rider, as you like to hope, and by extension become a lot more of a fun rider to watch. Safe but fun. You ain't gonna see me trying to like get the bike down right here, get on my knee down. That's just you know, we're not in USA. No, the whole gaff around here isn't completely flat, so we don't need to be doing weird shit like that. Oh, give me air. Is this Adventure Don gonna nod me? Oh, I swear, there's got to be something in the air. All the Adventure boys, and I even had a couple Harley boys as well, yeah, they're sending nods my way. I don't know what that's all about. It's almost on par with, am I going to get a nod from the big boys? That pause, not in a fruity way, big boys, I'm referring to the big bike boys. It really sounds like any joy of my day solely depends on getting a nod from a motorcyclist. This is really not the case. I'll be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. But, you know, it's something, you know. It's always something to report back on to the missus. Oh, I had 4 nods today. And she's looking at me like, I I don't really give a fuck, just to get cracking on, get some money so we can fucking get a fresh gaff and have sick lives. Well, what is this trail? Is this trail from motorcyclists riding down and it's just worn, or is it oil spill? Saying that aloud, it actually sounds really backwards, but it doesn't look too much like oil spill. I'm sure if I flip the visor up, it'll look a hell of a lot lighter and confirm things. And so far, I've not been doing a little cam block ordeal on this trail, so I'm guessing it's all right. There it is. There it is. Right, you'll see what I mean by the gravelly area. Oh, what the hell? There's a shitload of people on the bikes. Flip that old gal into neutral. Right, I'm having a gander like the armoured hoodies and stuff like that. Actually, I've just clocked a nice RST one. I don't really know anything about this sort of stuff, like in the slightest, like way less than what I know of like these jackets and stuff. Right, you can feel this like protection here. Maybe you can put something in, yeah, it looks like you could possibly put something in the back for a back protector. But I just don't really see how this is supposed to like be relatively protective of like road rash. It's got stuff in like the elbows or like forearm area as well, like little padding bits. It's got a hood as well, you know. Always nice to have a hood. What the fuck's the label at? That is. Well, they just got fucking, is it free? Apparently it's free because there's no price tag from what I can see. I'm not going to ask how much it is because I've got no intention of buying that. It definitely looks nice. I mean, they even got like some other hoodies as well here. There's Alpine Stars, which again, a bit of padding in there. Got like a little zip in there. You put like a little back protector in, I'm assuming. I don't know, man. I don't understand how they're going to be that protective, especially when you're going to be spending cash. You know, it's not like you're getting a little 40 quid fucking little Hera hoodie or something like that. A Gymshark hoodie, like they're probably upwards of 100-200 pounds, I'm assuming. And they got like nice stuff here. I mean, just stuff like that would be way more convenient than chucking like obviously all of this on every single time, but who knows, I mean, the bike could sell next week, which would be super ideal because then it means I can get booking my tests and looking for other bikes, bigger bikes. I don't know, it's like long enough trying to choose between getting Alpine Stars or RST. Well, that took me about a month to decide and pull the plug. That'd be bailing on the idea of getting something. I don't know, just buying something. I don't really like these sort of, is that a textile or Kevlar, or I don't bloody know. Don't really care, but I just don't, that sort of thing doesn't appeal to me. I'd rather not ride the bike than wear that sort of stuff. I'm sure some people would be like, oh, that's immature. Protective gear, protective gear. Listen, I don't want to look like I'm fucking riding in a sleeping bag. I'm like, shut up. Fucking square up to me, bastard. Yeah, they do like a little discount section. I think all of these helmets here, none of them really float my boat, but like, they do look alright. I just prefer like the pointed chin bit. There's a lot of like decent brand helmets like Shark, Bell for 100-200 quid, which I'm guessing are probably like decent helmets. They're probably just old. Again, I'm probably not really a reliable source to be taking someone's word and going and get one of these helmets. Fucking trying to swear it to me again. Fucking lucky there's people around. Count your blessings. Next time I won't be so kind. Yeah, as I said when I was coming here, I had no intention of buying anything, but or really looking for anything in particular. But now I'm seeing the AGV helmets over there, which I did have to kind of walk past and brush off, but I think I saw a little pista ordeal. Might be wrong, and it might not be a K1. That's nice. A little carbon fibre ordeal. Quite like this one. As far as like standing out goes, I think large would be a bit too big for my fucking pea head. Stop swearing. Imagine losing my balance. Imagine we lose my balance and fucking stack it and knock the display over. That would not be the first time. Probably be the third time. I think the first time I was a little nipper and knocked down like a big old pop-up tent in Halfords. And then another time, something like Wine. Was it Duran Duran playing? Oh, my screen's gone to sleep. It must be riveting. Yeah, I think the second time I knocked a whole display over, I was again a little nipper, but I knocked down like a whole glass, like bottle of beer display down, Morrison's. I don't think this is a K1. It also looks like a child's helmet because it's in size small, but it is really nice.
How sick is that? Fucking hell, I try and flick my visor down. It seems like it's taking 2 to 3 days just to close. I think if I had to get another K1S, K1S, is there a difference? I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably get a white one, stick a chrome visor on it as well. Again, this brand I see a lot of people going for, Scorpion. That looks fucking sick. I don't like these visors. I think that's just mega fruity. And I don't really like this whole thing at the front. What is that all about? Wow, I don't really want to be like a proper content creator neek right now when there's dudes trying gloves on. Might have to just fucking firm it and be like, yeah, what? I'm trying to make it out of this fucking matrix system. Fuck off. Yeah, we want RST. The Danish ones are alright, but effort to put on them. At the moment, like, you've gone for a bit of a ride. See how I grew some balls talking to the camera as I walked past the guy. Yeah, sort of shit I'm on. I don't know about the RST ones. I mean, I feel like I like having some Danish bits, but I've got RST boots, jacket, trousers, some Danish gloves and balaclava. No one cares about the balaclava, but matching gloves could be a little move. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll go try the sport ones on, but I couldn't see any summer gloves that were appealing to me. A little GTA type helmets. Or what are the little scooters called? Is it Vespers or Jespers? I don't know what people wear on them typically. Maybe we'll try the RSTs on quick. These are loads nicer. Still no protective like hard bits on the fingers really. They are sick. I see why people get these. Pretty good. So much easier to put on. And they were proper comfy and soft considering they're like new gloves. Probably had about 3,000 people try them on. It's like if Bonnie Blue was a glove, it'd probably be that glove. I think we're gonna make a move. This is nice. That actually seems like that genuinely would be protective. I was about to sell off out, but I realised they also have like a clearance section for jackets and stuff. Literally just before I ended up just biting the bullet, and that's what I was meant to say earlier, biting the bullet with getting all of this stuff. I tried on, I think it might have been a one piece, and I was like, oh, this fits really well. Decent colour scheme as well. And I realised I had tried on a woman's one piece, which does explain why the legs were so short, but I was really willing to just firm it and go with it, but thankfully my missus pointed out I picked it off of the wrong rack. Yeah, nearly 500 pounds down a little while later. Here we are. They have like fluorescent green, like newer versions of these, like proper tracky sort of whatever Danish boots. And yeah, they look sick. I want a pair of them. They're 160 quid. I think I forgot the price I paid for mine, but you're probably looking at about 150, 160 quid from what I can see. Unless you go Alpine Stars, and you're probably paying well over double. Whatever floats you go. This little chopper thing, I'm going to call it a chopper because that's what it looks like to me. You see like this little patterns and figures and stuff on it. It's sick. The bikes aren't really my cup of tea, but I can appreciate something that just looks cool. Alright, let's get out of here. Damn.
I'm gagging for a drink differently. Like spitting feathers is just not even coming close to how much I need a drink, really. Oh my god, the rattly bike rattles again. And I also need a wee, so it's not the finest combination going. So I nearly didn't come out on the bike today. I was just thinking it was too hot, there probably weren't going to be anyone out and about, but not that I'm riding with anyone, and kind of unfortunately, you know, it'd be nice to have a little chit chat, stopping up every once in a while with someone. It's still nice. It's like if you go into a gym and there's people that actually are lifting properly, right, rather than giggling and chatting and dossing and being disgusting and hogging machines. If people are lifting properly and there's a bunch of people, you know, especially bigger people as well, or people on a similar level to you, it's a nice bit of like almost gritty energy in there. Like you're ready to give it, like other people are ready to give it. Pause. You're ready to lift some heavy ass weights, as Mr. Coleman would say. Now, all seriousness, you're just ready to bring it, like ready to actually like lift some fucking weight and have a good workout and whatever else, and just give it your best. I'm not saying that you need to rely on that, obviously not. Again, it's one of them things, it depends on how you look at the matter. Sometimes having a dead gym is nice, but rather than just having it across the board like, oh, gym's busy, great, I can't use what I want to use or whatever, just think of it as like just a good bit of competitiveness. It's not a word as a word now. But where I was going with that was just kind of a similar thing with riding. It's just like that. Like it's just, if you imagine like every fucking while, there's people like, what are you saying? What are you saying? You're good. You're like, you're almost feeling included, and it's nice. And you got like, there's other people with like-minded interests and stuff like that. So, you know, you're all out for the same reason. I mean, if they're not commuting, they're out to just enjoy a bit of decent weather that we don't always get in the UK. And when we do, it's a nightmare. It's either scorching hot like now, or one factor that determined that I was going to be riding today was that it's scorching hot, and I was like, oh, it's not really ideal, you know, I've got leathers and stuff like that on. But then I saw that the rest of the week is absolutely hammering down with rain and cloudy as fuck, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that enough of itself was enough to get me to be like, oh yeah, let's send it then, let's go for a little ride. And I see videos online where, you know, people that are clearly experienced, bigger bikes and stuff like that, especially the older boys, they see people turning up in full gear and on like a 125, and they take the piss. Not that I care. I was just ignoring the possibility of the fact that, oh yeah, they might take the piss because I'm only on a little 125, and they probably think I think I'm the bee's knees, and it's like, who cares, man? Who the fuck cares? At least I'm in protective gear. I could have turned up in a t-shirt and shorts, and most people that would have done that on a bike wouldn't have thought they're gonna have the piss taken out of them. But that would be the more embarrassing thing. Each to their own, you know, you do what you want. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have thought I'm completely safe riding full gear and have unfortunately been exterminated by the fucking floor. And I'm sure there's people that have thought, oh, this is a risky one, and constantly keep going out in a t-shirt and joggers, t-shirt and shorts, on the big bikes especially, like the video I posted a little while ago with that guy on the R1. Plenty of people slandering not just him for being in no gear and on a big bike and clearly giving it some at some point in time, but also me, because they thought that I was essentially rinsing him for not wearing gear. People really missed my point, really. It was more of a mock to myself than a mock of him. It was more like, he's a nutter sort of thing for not wearing gear, because he is. I'm sure he'd probably be like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but you know, I'll do me, it's cool, it's my risk. That was it, really. The mocking joke was just like the mean thing. I'm being told, don't worry babe, he's a friend, and I'm in my full gear on this. And then the friend she's been to is some fucking jacked Don in shorts and t-shirt riding an R1 like it's nothing. That's what the point of that video kind of was, but it obviously went over a lot of people's head. But again, you can't expect everyone to understand where your narrative is meant to be going and your content, especially if they've just seen one short video. You know, there's a lot of people that will still watch a long video and decide they fucking hate your guts for whatever reason and want to leave some negative comments and maybe even dislike your video, which is kind of jarring. But it's life, man. It really is life, especially in this whole like kind of game of content or whatever. Content creation and trying to make it with it as well to some degree. It's two things, is you need people to dislike you and like you. Now it is obviously a little bit unorthodox or unnatural to try and like that people don't like you. I get it, and it is easy to be disheartened and be like, oh, kind of feel like shit. I get it, but again, you need that. If everyone loves you, then you're almost doing something wrong. You know, you can be your life can be going crazy in terms of content and people knowing you, and for like a year, and then you've peaked. Hopefully that doesn't happen with some people, but at least if you've got that constant back and forth, you're probably going to have plenty of downs and plenty of ups, which should hopefully benefit your career or potential of having a content creation type career or whatever. Yeah. Now, where I was going to go with like the whole content thing was that when I say make it, I don't just mean make it and get a load of subs and finally get paid on YouTube. I mean, like, so you almost leave like a stain on whatever it is you were doing, or whatever, whenever people know your name or have heard about you, there's something there to actually talk about. It's not just, oh yeah, he made videos, didn't he? Make it as a person, just be someone that people actually know of, rather than just make it as, oh, I can get paid on YouTube and I don't have to work. People know me for making some funny videos, and then that's it. It's like gaming, right? You can be, oh yeah, the guy that did that 360 no scope sided shot on fucking high rise jumping off in Modern Warfare 2, or you can be known as Syndicate, or someone from the FaZe Clan, or like Aiden Ross. That's what I mean. Not, oh, that 2K player, it's Aiden Ross. Rather than the type of videos you made in the niche, it's the person in the niche. Even still, you can be like, to some people, like, you know, like Andrew Tate. I might have to change that actually, because I can't be asked to completely jeopardize a video for the sake of saying his name. I'm sure he'd agree with that. I think he's a fucking G. But if I said, oh, do you know Tristan Tate, they'd be like, the fuck is Tristan Tate? I could probably go through a few things and they might be like, oh, I think I've seen him on the news. They probably have a bad opinion because the news have twisted everything. But my point is that you can be absolutely massive and there's still the people that just don't know you. So yeah, hope you're awake after that old fucking waffle.
Fucking watch what you're doing! Fucking knobhead! Fucking showed you, didn't I? Who's fucking bossing at fucking...
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
What the hell? I mean, yeah, it's pretty shit, but he pulled out on me. Now he's fucking got the because they pulled out on him. But hey, it's better than being pulled out on. Oh, I fucking got clattered by a bug on my visor now.
As you could probably tell by now, I completely ran out of dialogue and just didn't even think to film any sort of vlog outro for whatever reason. So if you're still here, I appreciate you watching, it means a lot. But I guess for now, I'm out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.